I think what people need to start doing is like investing their money, and having their money, work for them while they sleep. I think is
Yeah.
key. Have you done stuff like that where
I have in my younger days, and I have an addiction, and it's to work, and it's to make money. Whatever I'm doing, if I'm gonna skimboard, I'm gonna be the best at it.
Mhm.
If I'm gonna longboard, I'm gonna be the best at it. Or paddling, or window tint, or spraying bed lining, I'm gonna be the best at it, and I will just be addicted to that.
What's up, gangy? My name is Fuzzy Jardine, and welcome to Puka Pockets, where you, local people out there who need this, you can't afford not to watch this show because we're gonna bring it. Aloha. God gonna take care of him. Ready to go. Ready to rumble. Testing 1 2. You need the testing earphones. We good? Oh man, here we go. Okay. Hey, what's up, gangy? Welcome to the Puka Pockets podcast. Today's guest is my great friend. Well, I wouldn't say great. My solid brother from Waikiki. And if you don't know, this brother is a world champion. What they call him, skimboarding from Sandy Beach. I think he's multiple skimboarding champion. And, I know him from, I met him through
Was your dad? I met you through your dad. He was at a
my pops. And
surf contest,
And then I think we went to
Tahiti.
together, and that's where we created that friendship, and we've been friends since I think was 1999, 2000.
Yeah. When you I had to help you out when you stole the beer from the Fafas.
Well, yeah, this is and then if you know all the bed liners that have that people put in the trucks. It's pretty much this guy who probably sprayed your bed. And lava lining. He also tints cars, and then he's also doing
The full body.
full body.
Getting out of truck beds, and we're doing it for your car.
So my good friend Kanai Sharsh from Waikiki, or straight out of Kiwalos. Right?
Thanks for having me, man.
Yes, brother. So so let's just go into your story, like where you was born and raised, where you grew up, and then go from there.
I was born and raised in town. Grew up Waikiki Beach on the catamarans. Learned how to surf, sail, swim out there. I eventually became a captain, driving the boats there and Kaneohe Bay. And all my life I was on boats. And when I think I was about 21, I said, this is not the lifestyle for me. Mm-hmm. I love the water, love the ocean, but this the lifestyle of being in the sun every day, all day, just wasn't for me. And that's when I got into car detailing and window tinting. And that was like, 1989.
Man, so talk to me about that. Like talk to me about your upbringing. What schools you went to? Like, did you jump all over the place? Different schools, get in trouble?
I had a very strict. My stepfather, very strict. Yeah, old school.
Right.
Growing up in the '70s, you got lickings if you did anything wrong. So that's how I grew up. And those upbringings have taught me to survive, be a survivor in life, mm-hmm. how to make money and how to watch out for, danger up ahead. And and here I am today. I went to Catholic school up into, I think, 9th grade. I went to St. Louis, and then went to public school. So I grad from Roosevelt.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Grad from Roosevelt, And being on the beach, Waikiki Beach, I had a boogie board, and I would just sand slide. And then one day I met this guy. He had a skimboard company, Sandy Beach Surf Design, and he invited me out to the contest. Sandy Beach, first time I went to Sandy Beach, got lickings out there, lickings. It's not Waikiki Beach, man. And yeah, I think I won a skimboard in the raffle, and ever since then I just literally skimboarded every day. Every day for a year I skimboarded. Whether if it was in Waikiki Beach or Sandy Beach or in the pool at my school, I would always sand slide or skimboard. And literally in 1 year's time, I entered the contest, and I won. At that time, I had the current world champion.
Oh, what?
And I beat him.
and what this is like? What year was this in? What the
86, 86, 87.
Yeah, and that's when it was like big. Do they have contests like that anymore, or here in Hawaii?
I think it's a lot bigger now, and they do have contests on a tour. I skimboarded for up until the 90s, until I had kids. And then at 1992, I won the world title.
Damn.
And and then I went on to other things. I was starting a business, starting a family.
Right.
I didn't have time to skimboard. I moved away from Sandy Beach, and I lived in town, and that's when I started longboarding. That's when I met you.
So yeah, and what was the Hasa contest? And I think
The HLF.
Hawaii Longboard Federation,
Yeah,
right? Held by our friend
Reed.
Reed Inouye. Yeah, Reed's the man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember we used to compete against all the top guys, right?
Yeah.
In
Your
Waikiki.
cousin, Dino Miranda, world champion.
With what you call Kai Salas, a couple other of the heavy hitters. Bonga Perkins.
Kanoa, Lance, Puka Pants.
Hard to beat,
Yeah.
those guys because they're super.
Yeah, they're
super
still doing it
talented.
today, man. Still going hard.
Yeah, and congratulations to Kai for
Oh yeah, Kai.
he definitely deserved that world championship. Belt.
I actually paddle with him a couple times a week.
Yeah, we love Kai. I mean, he's so fluid on his surfing out at Queens or wherever he's surfing, like just smooth surfing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, talk to me about that, like, cause like longboarding. So you went from skimboarding. Skimboarding was, I used to watch you guys at Sandy Beach, or the guys that would skimboard, and they would like just unreal, like do come sliding and then turn around, catch the wave like you would do surfing, catch barrel.
Exactly. It's all about, for me, it was this running. I come from an athletic background. I lived up Ward Avenue, and my dad used to make me run to the harbor after school and then run home. And he was literally getting me ready for whatever I needed to do, being athletic. And when I picked up a skimboard, it was just about running. I could just run faster than anybody. And
Yeah, I mean,
that literally learned to slide into the sand and out to the oncoming wave and came back in. And
yeah. What was the trick, the main tricks that the judges was looking for back then? I mean, I know jumping.
Tube riding, aerials. Back then it was in flips. Hit the wave and you do a single or double flip. But mainly tube rides.
Oh, killer. But then, you say you started having a family, like, talk to me about that, because once you start having kids now, and especially coming from Hawaii, was it a struggle to make ends meet? I think back then was a little bit easier because the cost of living wasn't as high.
Yeah, it wasn't as high. I was very fortunate. I had my wife at the time, the boy's mother, her parents. We lived with them, and they lived downstairs. We lived upstairs. So we actually took their one-story house and we made it into, back then it was a monster house, into a 3-story, 10-bedroom house. And they lived downstairs. So whenever we went to work, the boys would go downstairs, and then me and my wife would go to work and worked hard. Yeah.
Yeah. What were you guys doing for work back then?
Back then we were doing detailing and window tinting.
Mobile, or you had like a shop?
I had a mobile business. I ran that for a few years. I sold it to a friend of mine, which today he still operates it. And
Under the same name.
same name, yeah, same name, Classy Clean.
Classy Clean, huh?
Yeah. I think he's a flight attendant too. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we worked. We had a little shop in.
So I'm guessing you never got into the party scene like I did. You know, because like when I grew up, I was like in the thick of, you know, the cool crowd, and like, oh, everybody's smoking Pacololo.
I was
drinking alcohol.
Skimboarding. You know, I went to Skimboard Laguna Beach, and Laguna Beach, man, it was the first time I was like introduced, or I seen a lot of drugs go down, and I was just like, nah, I'm good. And they're like, no, keep you up. I go, bro, I don't need to be up, man. I need to go to sleep. So, you know, drinking, I'll have a beer. But drugs, I always stayed away from it. Always.
Smart man, you know, because the drugs will take you down fast.
Yeah,
so.
and a lot of the guys I skimboarded with, they were all into the drugs, and yeah, they went down.
Well, that's one thing that people can, you know, look up to you as, you know, you kind of kept it real and not went down that right, you know, went down the path.
Yeah.
To, you know, kind of like ruin yourself, right? Like, because when you're on that drugs and alcohol, bro, when I was on it, the thing just took me like straight down, and then of course, you know, took me down to where most people end up is in jail. So
yeah, I remember that.
I mean, like, when we was doing, I guess, how did we end up, you know, what was the deal with, because I know I can remember it was the first time ever looking to go to Tahiti.
I think I had a ticket, and
it was standby ticket, right?
Yeah, it was the Buddy Pass.
Yep.
And Willie Grace. It was a ticket for Willie Grace, and he couldn't make it, so he sold a ticket to you. I sold it to him for 100, and he sold it to you for 200.
You see how Hawaii is?
Good old Willie Grace, man.
Yeah.
And then we went to Tahiti. Boy, the stories. I think Tiare was there.
Tiare,
Kanoa. And then
Kanoa Dale, right? Him and his like, we went there for a contest though. There was like was it Papaete?
I think it was a Papaete contest, the Black Sand Beach.
Right.
Yeah.
It was super fun. And remember we I think we stayed in tents. Right?
We stayed in tents. Yeah, we stayed in tents.
But it was awesome because I think what is the Sanford, right? Sanford was the guy we
Ralph.
Ralphie.
Ralph Sanford, yeah.
In fact, I remember you tinting his truck when you went up. Remember?
Yep, his Nissan.
And he has like bungalows, you know, like maybe 10 minutes away from where his property is from.
His property is on the water.
On the ocean.
And I think the Papaete, or the Black Sand Beach, was about an hour away, but he's like 10 minutes from Sapanus.
Yeah.
They have the...
Bring them more close to you.
Yeah, it's about 10 minutes from Sapanus.
Oh, yeah. But Sapanus was where they had the contest, though.
One of the contests. Was it Sapanus contest or the...
No.
It was a Black Sand Beach.
Yeah, because it had like the river going on. Remember they was catching the little fish?
Yeah.
And then they made the fish burgers.
I remember, like I mentioned earlier, we took the beer, the Hinanos, and it was a Fafa's Hinanos, and they literally came down the beach looking for you. If you don't know what a fatherhood is,
Ask somebody.
ask somebody. Just don't ask the wrong person.
Yeah. Hey, if you like what you see, guys, I have a mentorship program called the Hui Mastermind. I have a partner named Zasha Smith, where we take our students through a 4-week mastermind, 2 calls a week. We also have a 2-day live event where we walk you through our projects that we're going through, how to find deals, fund deals. We show you our team, and we also take you through a 2-day live event, and we show you the process from the start to the finish. First day is on Oahu, and the second day is on the Big Island. We also put you on a lifetime Facebook private group so that you can network with other students, and you will also have connection with Zasha and I, who are local real estate investors right here in Hawaii. So if you're interested in getting involved with the real estate industry, just message me below, and let's get you going. Aloha.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
was
that
a
was
big
some-
fafa.
That was some memorable times, man. I mean, the waves were just epic. We're, I was able to get on what you call Ralphie's brother's boat to go surf, Chopo.
Yeah.
I'm not sure you guys stayed back.
I think
huh?
we stayed back, yeah. Chopo is a whole other animal, man.
Yeah, that was like.
Yeah.
So I think I brought a bodyboard and the longboard, and man, yeah, the wave just is exactly as you see it on TV. Like out there is just insane. Like how it just
It's different because you're only seeing the wave, but when you're taking off on that wave, you're looking down and it's crystal clear and it looks like you're taking off on dry reef, which is only probably about a foot deep.
yeah, and that was where it's like, oh my God, I'm really here. Like catching some
Yeah.
just beautiful waves.
And back then, a lot of people paddled out, but now I think they have boat service that just take you out. It's really commercialized now.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think what they're doing now is trying to, the Olympics, is it the Olympics trying to go out there and
Yeah.
then ruin the reef? So I know the locals over there is not having it. They don't.
Yeah, surprisingly, only the locals are talking about it. No contest, but the people in, the surfers are not saying anything.
Yeah. It's weird, huh?
Yeah, they just want to get that gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame what they're doing to Tahiti, but
Yeah. Well, it's just kind of the same thing they're doing to Hawaii. Talk about that. Like growing up in Hawaii, what is the struggles that you see, like coming from, town and stuff like that? Affordable housing is a huge thing right now.
yeah. I think right when we went to Tahiti, I think I was buying a house in North Shore. I was buying it from Hans Hedeman, 1-acre property in Pupukea. I want to say I bought it for under market value at $360,000.
Wow.
And then I would say less than 10 years later, going through my divorce, it was appraised at 1.5 million.
Damn.
Yeah. So that's a big chunk of change.
Yeah. I mean, buying a property nowadays, right, is like so crazy because
Yeah.
the prices has jumped so significantly, and I think it's when this interest rates drop, it's going to go even higher. So currently, you run your shop out of town, yeah.
I run a shop out of town, right down the street on Queen Street. It's across from Whole Foods. I have that building. And so I have the master lease for the whole building. And I occupy the bottom floor. And I rent at the top to, they do therapy. So it's called Spill the Tea Cafe. And it's a therapy room for kids. And then I also rent downstairs to a taco stand called Tita's Tacos.
Tito's Tacos, they get tequila too. Tito's.
Tita's Tacos. Tita's Tacos,
Tito's.
yeah. So, and I've been doing this many times through my whole business career where I'll go in and I'll rent a building, a big building, and I'll rent out half of it, and that literally pays for either half or more than half of the whole lease.
So it's like cash flowing while
Yeah.
and then you have your business too. That's
Yeah,
so smart.
exactly. So currently, I really don't pay rent, but I take care of the building and I make sure my tenants are everything's working for my tenants. And I take care of everything else. If the roof is leaking, toilet is leaking, I'm the property manager.
Okay.
So I've done that with many of the buildings that I've been in.
So like, what is like what are you like? I know I come to you. We did you did couple of my trucks.
Yeah.
And then what else? Like you do tinting.
I did your tint. I think the last thing I tinted was your Honda. And yeah, I was like, "Here, just take it." No, I don't want to take payment from you. And you threw out money on
Yeah.
the window. I was like, "Okay."
No, and then you also do like you came and helped my grandma out too, right? So
Yeah, the house.
you did some
Yeah, yeah,
tinting.
yeah. There's only a few people that I'll just like just come on and do it. Yeah, don't even pay me. Yeah, you're one of the few.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
thank you. I mean, that came out helpful. So yeah, what is one thing you think people here in Hawaii, locals in general, like you see a lot of them, thinking about moving away on how they can,
I see that, I hear that. I, it is. I know in the mainland it's a lot cheaper.
Right.
I've been there. I go to mainland a couple times a year, and it is hard in Hawaii. But at the same time, I want to say that I see a lot of local people that they come into my shop and they work, and I just want to say they just. I don't want to say they're lazy, but they need to be a little bit more on the ball of things. Get up and go and hustle it. Be aggressive. If you wanna be somebody or get something, you got to go out there and get it. It's not gonna come to you.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, like for you.
yeah. I
you
mean,
know.
like if you stay stagnant or you go, like it's tough, working, a 9 to 5 for someone else. And then that's why a lot of people like struggle in being comfortable, right? So I feel that if you want to get something in life or get you have these big dreams or whatever, you gotta attack. You gotta attack, and
Yeah,
if it takes you working 2 jobs, 3 jobs to
you gotta sacrifice.
right,
That's what it is. If that means the surf is good and you have a chance to make a couple $100 that day,
yeah,
unless you're making money from surfing,
yeah.
go out and get that money.
But like I think also, creating the extra income. But then not only that, I think what people need to start doing is like investing their money, and having their money, work for them while they sleep. I think is
Yeah,
key.
yeah, yeah.
Have you done stuff like that where
I have in my younger days, and I have an addiction, and it's work, and it's to make money. So whatever I'm doing, if I'm gonna skimboard, I'm gonna be the best at it. If I'm gonna longboard, I'm gonna be the best at it, or paddling, or window tint, or spray and bed lining. I'm gonna be the best at it, and I will just be addicted to that. And yeah, I have a few investments out there. Especially with the bed lining, um, the lava lining name. You know, it was already there. I just got it and I perfected it, and so my product is sold island wide. Even if a company that I'm not even affiliated with, and they're buying a bed lining material from the mainland, I'm getting a piece of it, just
Yeah.
a small piece of
so
it.
you're getting royalties from
Yeah.
from the
Yeah.
product that's coming
Yeah.
in because you bought the rights to Hawaii.
30 years ago, I made a deal with the guy who got me into it, and he gave me exclusive.
Oh, yeah.
And But there was another company next to me that wanted to buy it. And he told me, hey, they're going to buy it no matter what. They're going to go to somebody else. So we're going to make you the warehouser. So he'll pay us, but he gets it from you. I said, yeah, great. So it's been ongoing. So through the years, they managed to buy many companies. I don't get the big percentage like I did back in the day, but small.
So what is some challenges like you've faced throughout the year as a entrepreneur, business owner, like employees or change of the market, like
Yeah, back in the day when there was only the buy and sell, we were all over that. Buy and sell, and then the radio station and the TV. Nowadays,
man, buy and sell. If you guys don't know, if you younger generations out there,
it was the
the
Bible.
buy and sell was the Craigslist or the Facebook Marketplace, where it was these ads like almost like a newspaper book,
Yeah,
right?
newspaper that came out twice a
'Cause-
week, and we were all over that. So if you wanted anything with cars, you go to wherever, 7-Eleven or
Right.
L&L, and you pick it up, and people would just read it.
Right.
And I was always in there, lava lining. Then when social media came out, it's a whole different ball game now. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, talk money. I mean, to me, like, what is the like lava lining? Like the amount of money, like from where you start. Like, how did you like start? I know you said you was going into cleaning cars. Like,
Yeah, so I was detailing cars, window tinting, and I wanted to diversify myself. And I think there was a company here, I read about a company, and it was called Linex.
Okay.
And no, it was Rhino Lining first. And they were charging like $700,000 a truck. And then the next company was Linex, but they already had a guy here on Oahu, but he did nothing with it. Then he tried to get me to buy it and work at his shop, and I was like, nah, I'm not gonna work for anybody.
so is this what straight out of high school? Like after you
No,
graduated,
I was already
you was doing it in school or like during high school?
no, it was already, I was already 25, 26
Oh,
years
okay.
old. I started detailing at like 20, 21 after my driving boat days. Yeah, so I went to a SEMA show, and I was walking through the crowd and looking for bedliners. And some guy pulled me out of the crowd, and he goes, "You're looking for bedliners, aren't you?" I'm like, "Oh, how did this guy know?" And gave him like $25,000. He flew me out to Texas. He had some Mexicans teach me. Spoke very little English, but I learned. I think it was like a 3 or 4 day course. I learned. I came back here, and I literally just vegged out on how to spray a bed liner. And then 6 months later, I changed everything that they taught me. I made it more efficient, made it better looking. And they flew down to Hawaii to see, and they were so amazed. But they were trying to tell me, this is not how you do it. No, don't do it that way. And I said, no, just watch. Shut up and watch. And the guy who taught me, the guy who trained me, I literally hired him. He was like, I want to work for you. And I trained him. And I trained him how we spray it, how it looks like today. So back in the day, and that's how lava lining got its name, because it looked like lava, drippy and running. And that's how they taught us how to spray. And a lot of people were like, oh yeah, okay. But then the other half, more than half people were like, it looks ugly.
Yeah.
So then I had to refine it and modify some things. I came up with some tooling and some modification on the gun. And so that's how bed lining today looks, because what I did 30 years ago.
Nice. So
And that Mexican guy, his name was Vinny. He came, he worked for me for 6 months, and then he took it back, and everybody he started up.
right.
Yeah, and then they ended up buying all these other companies, and And it was through that guy how I got a percentage of everything.
Mean. Sick story, bro.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, that guy went on to become multi-millionaire.
Right.
Yeah.
And what he took like is he still here in Hawaii or he?
No, that guy was from Mexico,
Oh.
Texas. He became a multi-millionaire, and he got greedy. And,
Oh, I see.
so
Yeah.
I think 2 years ago he got busted for like some kind of fraud.
Oh man, so sad, right? Money will.
I mean, we all know he was a fast talker.
Well, money will only enhance who you
Yeah,
are, right?
he was a smooth fast talker, and he managed to buy all these companies and merge it together and sell it off, and
Right.
and yeah, I think there's only like 2 companies in the world now that literally bought everybody.
So like is this career or you as an entrepreneur for your company, what is it like that people get from the company, like when they come to you, like, hey, this is what I do, this is how I service this.
Yeah, so I started bedlining. I do window tinting, but I'm a little bit more affordable. Some companies out there are charging $500 to window tint because I'm efficient and I buy all my material at cost so I'm a dealer for the window
Okay.
film as well.
Right.
So all my stuff is I buy it at wholesale, and I also sell to other tint shops for the window tinting. For the bed lining, same thing. I get my product super cheap, so I'm able to literally undercut everybody, but I don't. But I want to pass on the savings to a lot of customers.
Right. Well, we
So-
know locals,
Yeah.
they're gonna come to you. What, bro? They can do for this price, bro.
Yeah, so my prices are set, and when they try to say, "Hey, we like them cheaper," I go, "Yeah, go see the next guy."
Yeah.
And they already know they're a little about maybe 10-15% more than me. So,
Right.
but one thing I do have over everyone else is that I'm doing the full body in colors.
Full body liners.
Full body lining, yeah. We call it the full body armor, and it's basically a bed lining for the exterior of your car.
Right. And what's the process though? Like, cause if they come to you with like one rusted bucket, I mean, what kind of condition? What is the process?
I have a van sitting at my shop right now, and the whole roof is gone.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of people think lava lining, you just spray it over and it becomes. That's a band. No, it's not going to work. You still got to prep it. You still got to do a lot of it. But yeah, so a van came to me. It's all rusted, and so normally I just sand it and spray. It's a lot easier than painting, and it's not the same type of material as painting, so I don't need a special booth. It dries, it dries a little quicker. With painting, you got to make sure it goes on smooth. With the lining, it's a textured finish, so I don't have to really make sure it's smooth. You just texture it
So this
after.
material, like, as far as like decks, I was just came to mind right now. Like, like, so say I get on 20 by 20 by 12 deck concrete. Does this stuff stick to concrete?
It
or-
can. It can. People do call me, "Hey, come do my deck," or "Hey, do my pawn." But there's a lot of equipment,
Right.
and I'm not mobile.
Right.
And I used to go out and do that, but the minimum is $10,000
Yeah.
because
so it's
that's
pricey.
just for me to set up.
Right.
Yeah, there are companies that do it, and they specifically just do stuff like that, but their minimum is like $100,000.
Yeah.
So I'm just not into that. That's way too much work for me.
Right. So it just,
Yeah.
basically, and then what else? I mean, I know you were saying you had, you're doing ceramic coating now too?
Yeah, so I'm coming from a detailing background where we did waxing and polishing. We've been doing ceramic coating for the last few years, and so now we're gonna go full blown into ceramic coating and PPF.
Okay.
And for you for those of you who don't know what PPF is, it's wrap, vinyl wrap, but it's stronger and it lasts longer. And if you don't want color, it's just straight clear. So it's a protective finish where you can throw rocks at it. There's a hydrophobic coating on it.
So it's like it's what is it, like almost like polish kind of?
Well, the PPF is so you paddle. So on the side of your board, you have that rail guard.
Mm-hmm.
It's exactly the same thing,
Wow.
but we do the whole vehicle with it.
So it's like on wrap, or is just like?
You could say it's a wrap, but it's a different material than a wrap. It's not vinyl. Yeah, and it's more a protectant, a paint protectant.
Yeah, I mean, I know they're coming up with some pretty crazy stuff now, and to protect your cars, because like Hawaii takes a beating, right? With the
Hawaii
salt.
does take a beating, yeah, with the salt, and especially with these Toyota Tacomas, they're fading out a lot. So that's why we started doing more ceramic coating as well as the PPF to protect against that.
Okay, so we're gonna go back, going backwards now. I like talk story about you. I mean, you're a father. Talk to us about fatherhood. Like, you say what? You have 3 children?
I got 2 boys.
2 boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 boys, 27 and 28. They both, I don't know how it happened. They both got engaged within a week apart of each other. Great kids.
Right.
Never had any problems with them.
Right.
And of course, my son, he was a UH standout,
Right.
number 3, during the Nick Rolovich time.
Nice.
He is, he played for UH. He was supposed to go to try out for the NFL, and then the pandemic happened.
Mm-hmm.
So then he went to, I think he went to Italy and played football. He came back, and he goes to ministry school now.
Nice.
So very proud of him. He is gonna play pro ball in Germany.
Wow. Pro football, yeah.
Pro football, yeah. He went to a college in London, and they had only American football.
Wow.
Against these other London schools, colleges, and they were scoring 70-0, 90-0.
That's some big scores.
Because these kids are from London, they didn't know what football is.
Right.
And they on this college, they all had half the team was Americans.
Wow.
So they schooled them.
Yeah, what was it like though? Because you and your wife was working, the business.
Yeah, so
Like, they went to public school. You said
they went to Holy Family.
Oh, okay.
What is that, a Christian school?
Yep.
And but they were very athletic. I didn't really let them surf. I always encouraged land sports, basketball and football. And I think if they would have stayed, I think they went to St. Francis too, yeah. And they wanted to grow with their athleticism, playing football and basketball. So they went to Mauna Loa, and they killed it at Mauna Loa.
Kill us.
And then they went to college for a year in the mainland, and then my son walked on UH.
Yeah, I know. They had on big year.
Yeah.
They had on big year.
Yeah. He was a quiet one, but he was making touchdowns and making his plays. Yeah. And then my oldest son, he came back from college, did nothing. I think he came to me one day and asked me for money. I go, "You out of college? You're an adult now. Can I borrow your car?" "Nope. Go buy your own car." So I don't know what he did for a while. Did nothing. But now, I want to say when they became an adults at 18, I always looked at them and always learned from them. This is a new generation.
Right.
So I always watched their mannerism and how they held themselves up with other people, and so I learned a lot from them. So now my oldest son, John Michael, is running another business competitor. Uh, it's called Pamalu.
Oh, I heard of them. I heard of them. They do roofing too, right?
Yeah, they do roofing.
Okay.
Yeah, so my son runs the automotive part of it. You know,
Oh, wow.
the bed lining, the window tint, truck accessories. And I came to him. I went to his shop um, about 3 months ago, and I said, bed lining is a dying business, because he had nothing in his shop. And I go, wow, this is rare.
Right.
He was, yeah, it's very rare that we have nothing. And I said, let's get into something else. So I told him all about the PPF and the ceramic coating that I'm doing, and he was into it. And then I want to say a week later, I went to his shop. He tore his whole shop up just to get ready.
Wow.
He's just rebuilding his shop right now just to get ready for PPF and ceramic coating.
And is the products easy to get? Like, you guys getting them from a wholesaler, or what's?
There's a lot of companies already.
Yeah, I know.
They're exclusive.
Oh, okay.
They're exclusive with the product, and that's where I want to be. I want to be exclusive with a product. But there's so many guys doing it. So I did a lot of research. We just came back from Kansas for training, and we're gonna be exclusive on a new product coming to Hawaii. It's called X, and it's gonna specialize in PPF and ceramic coating.
Mean.
Yeah.
And they school. You go to them. They teach you how to use the product, or
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. I already knew how to do it. I just didn't know their way and how they want you to do it. So we went up there. We went for training.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was we went for a week's course.
Yeah. So one thing, I noticed, like, I always knew, every time I, get in touch with you, you always working, bro, hard working. Is that something that you don't really see? I think there's not much people like you and I were like kind of like workaholics.
I'm a workaholic, and I want to say, and I told you before, a few minutes ago, that I learn and I watch my son, and my son runs this business, and I'm just like, he has guys working for him, and it's good. He has a lot of friend base, so a lot of his friends work for him, and he's off on Saturdays, he's off on Sundays, he's off at 4:00 in the afternoon, and I'm just like, wow, it's 8:00 at night. He did come and help me last night.
He's delegated.
Yeah, he needed some. I had to help him with something, and I said, yeah, bring the truck over to my shop, and he just brought it over, and that's it. He sat down and watched me.
Yeah, so I mean, now that the new era, right? Like,
Yeah.
me and you is old school. Like, nobody can do our business better than us, But the new age now, they're
Yeah, and my son, he sees that, and he goes, Dad, do this. You gonna pay me? I do charge him. I do charge him. He hasn't paid me in a while, but he did say, hey, we're gonna go to this course, so if you do 5 of these cars, I'll pay for everything. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So my son is good at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's good at negotiating.
Hey, what's up, gang? I hope you guys like the show. I just wanted to thank Bomber Eyewear for being sponsor on the Puka Pockets podcast. So if you want to check out Bomber Eyewear, if you know the brand, you don't know the brand, just check us out. Get the promo code called Aloha20 and sponsor your boy Fuzzy. Let's go. Yeah. So what is one thing that, you can share, that you would like to share, that nobody knows about you? You and Faf on that. Oh boy.
Oh boy. I'm a workaholic.
Right.
You see me paddling, you see me surfing. I'm very fortunate that I I do well in these races or surfing,
Right.
because I'm like an addict. If I want to be good at something, I'll just I'll just make sure that I'm the best at.
Right.
So, you can't surf at 10 o'clock at night, but you'll see me at the gym.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see me running, eating right. Um, there's, I wish there were like 30 hours in a day.
Right. Because you would go to 30.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm literally, I had to step back for health reasons. And,
Yeah.
I got to get my, 6 hour sleep. So I'll tell you how my day goes. I go to a 5 a.m. F45.
Oh, so it's like what, right around the corner from
It's
you?
right around the corner from me.
Is that Shane's one? Is that?
I think so. I don't know the owner, but I hear that name,
Davis,
Shane.
yeah.
I go to F45 because it's literally right down the street, right downstairs for me.
Okay.
I do that at 5 or 6. So if I'm going to go to a 6 o'clock class, I get up at 5 and get my body ready. I'll go there. And then I'll ride to Magic Island on my bike, come back. And so it's like 8 o'clock.
What's that like though? Like, is it like high intensity training?
It's high intensity training, but you're not really lifting weights, not like CrossFit, where you're lifting and doing pull-ups.
What is it like? You're doing more calisthenics?
Yeah, push-ups and
Okay.
light weights and burpees
Yeah, yeah. And it's
and the
like
rope thing.
It's like a gym membership too over there, or is
Yeah,
like
yeah. I have unlimited, so
okay.
if I don't
you
make
gotta give them lava lining and tint trade.
Yeah. No, I really don't tell anybody what I do. I mean, you drive by my building, you just don't see the sign.
Yeah.
But it's busy.
It's word of mouth, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody knows, like all the surf industry. Everybody
Yeah.
in the surf industry knows who Kanai is.
Yeah, yeah. I just had a surfer just this morning. He's scheduled at 9, but I was supposed to be here, and I call and say, "Bro, bring it in at 8. I gotta go do this podcast."
So you did a quick tint
I
job
did
before you came.
did a quick tint job,
Yeah.
and then came here, and then
Yeah.
go back to work.
Speaking of that, the kind media, I think Jordan needs some tint.
I was
For
gonna
his
say
little
we can
fit.
do a trade on his Hasoi skateboard there.
I don't think he'll give that up. The funny thing is, I seen Hosoi when I went. Oh, I shouldn't even go there. But anyway, I seen him over there at FDC when I went in. I was like, oh my god! I was like tripping out. I was like, you're my idol, bro. Look up there. I used to look up to you. I used to put my shirt in the back of my pocket.
Yeah, I met him a few times when skimboarding. He skimboarded,
Yeah.
and so I would see him at Sandy's.
Yeah, super cool guy,
Yeah,
down to earth.
super nice guy.
So talk to us about like now you getting into this paddle thing. Like, in fact, talk to me about your Molokai channel experience, because most people train years.
Yeah. So I come from an ocean background,
Okay.
a waterman, sailing, surfing, and I ran into this guy 15 years ago, and he did stand-up paddling, and he always tried to get me into it. I was like, oh, no. And I think we went snowboarding one year. I think it was 7 years ago, and you and Kavika talked to me about stand-up paddling,
Yeah.
and I was hooked. I came back, and I bought myself a stand-up paddleboard, and I trained, and kept on training. I became a chronic of just training. I was addicted to stand-up paddleboarding, and then did the Molokai Channel. Our first year, won, and second year, won again, and then we just did a third year just past.
Same guys, the same.
No, we switched it up. This year we had Jane McKee
Okay,
and another guy, Jason Blinkenhorn.
Jason. All right.
Yeah, Holly guy from the mainland.
Yeah. So they got. I think they already set the date. Yeah, the 28th of
July? Yeah.
is the next race,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, but I'm actually moving more towards one manning.
One man canoe.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that you think is way more challenging, or what's?
It is not as hard.
Mm.
Stand-up paddling, you're standing up and you work everything.
Yeah.
There's not that much people doing it anymore. because everyone moved over to
All
foiling.
faded out. To
Yeah,
like,
and then you're foiling,
yeah, bro.
and I bought all this equipment, and I just was like, I
Not
don't.
for you,
Yeah, I know I was just gonna be an addict,
right?
and I just couldn't. And I still got the equipment just looking at me every day. I gotta
No,
sell.
I'm telling you. Once you get the bug though, like for me when I started, I was like, I caught cracks, like
Yeah,
lickings,
yeah.
and you know. But of course, I was going to the places where you're not supposed to take your foil.
I remember he called me one day and he goes, "Hey, let's go get a jet ski. Let's go foil." I was kind of into it, but I was like, "Oh, that's a lot of time."
Yeah,
And
and money too, bro.
yeah. I think I spent 10 grand on my equipment plus the jet ski.
Yeah,
And yeah, I think literally you got on the Go Foil team
yeah,
like within a year.
yeah. Like, how the hell you did that? Well, I just was pounding every
Yeah,
chance I
just
got.
an
To
addict to your sport, your discipline.
Oh, but you know now it's like the wing foiling. The wing foiling is just insane. They just had the episode who was on with Robert
Uh huh.
on OC16. They just aired last night, but or the night before, where they was out Rabbit Island. They was doing all
Oh
the
no
like
way.
wing foiling and surfing out there at Rabbit Island, and then we were outside like VLAN. But one of the reasons why I started was I was watching, Kalani Vieira and Kavika, foiling, and how these guys, they always post their pictures like for 1 year watching them. It's
Yeah.
like, I'll never do that, right? Never get into this because one, fear because that thing looks sharp, right?
It is.
But I guess when so I was out on the North Shore. I think I was at Lania Caves, and I seen Derek Hamasaki
Hammer.
come flying by, go out with the wing, turn around, surf the wave, wing back out. Like, dude, he caught over like 100 waves. I was like, bruh, I'm gonna do this. Like, then I seen Tedford. I don't know if you know Tedford.
No.
Tedford is like a bodyboarder, and he was like proning. I just see him catching, pumping, catching away. I was like, bro, if that guy can do it, like I'm
Foiling
gonna
is
do
a
it.
workout, especially
Right.
when surfing, prone surfing. It's a workout.
Yeah, so Tedford kind of inspired me, and then I called both of them up or messaged them, and yeah, I started out here at the Lagoon, so that straight run.
Oh, yeah, we all did.
Yeah.
I did that too.
I was like, and my wife was like videotaping in the beginning, teasing, like falling over, and I see this girl going back and forth. I was like, it was frustrating seeing girls beat me, or that was better. But of course, it took me a little bit to learn the sport. But man, I'm telling you, we went from Molokai to Oahu, right?
How
In like
fast?
fast.
I think what's the record? Like hour 10 minutes, hour 15.
Yeah, hour and some change, but you can go as fast as the wind.
Faster than the wind.
Faster than the wind.
You're
but
going
you're,
3-4 times faster than the
flying
wind.
over,
You're
all
foiling, no
these,
friction.
these bumps, and you don't even feel it. It's just, to me, it feels like snowboarding.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
That's how fun and addicting it is. So, but yeah, I'm surprised you never get into it.
I didn't want to because I knew I would have been addicted to it, and I would have just been loyal to the foil and sell everything like everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, I spent thousands, bro, from just prone foiling, stand up foiling equipment to the wings to the jet
And
ski.
it's constantly changing.
Yeah, every
So many
6
months.
months
Constantly changing.
to a year. Now they're coming out with this, props with batteries that you can connect your own equipment and then just use the instead of buying a
10
12.
grand.
So that's the
Or
board. Yeah, the
it's a little more
boards.
affordable now.
The boards that come with the batteries, right? The e-foils, super cool because you can learn to foil in like a day,
Yeah.
right? Or in like a couple hours. But the ones that they have now is they have like a battery pack that connects where you connect your foil to the board, and then the wire goes down and they connect the prop to the mass. And dude, it's like you see these guys going out to the wave, catch the wave, and then go right back out. And
That's for the older guys, but the younger kids, they get the motors right here.
yeah. But super fun, super fun sport, and yeah, try it, guys.
I got some boards for sale, some wings, some foils.
Yeah, let's put them on. What was that paper?
Oh,
again
buy
you
and sell.
said? The buy and sell.
Penny
Man,
saver.
that was one way that I used to put my cars on there back in the day, like because I used to buy and sell cars, and that was the Craigslist. So when I went away and I came home, they was like, "Bro, you never seen Craigslist?" I was like, "What the hell is Craigslist?" I was like, holy crap, this thing is mean, right?
Yeah.
And of course, the cell phones, right? The Apple phone came out, and then the Androids. I mean, just so much is changing. The technology.
Technology is changing. Yeah. Technology is changing. Yeah. But I gotta say, my market is still the older, 40 and up, 50 years old, 60 years old. That's my market.
So they want to So if they want to take care of their cars, how can they contact you? I mean, do you have like a website?
Yeah,
Or
I'm on the web, Lava Lining, or yeah, Instagram, Lava
Instagram?
Lining.
Well, I mean, if you're talking about old school, right? you
You'd be
gotta
surprised. Some of the old guys, they have Facebook.
Facebook.
Facebook is for older people.
So you have that on the platform. You have Facebook,
Facebook,
Lava Lining.
Lava Lining, anything Lava Lining, just Google it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, one last thing, like, what would you share to someone that's thinking they got to move away from Hawaii? What? Man, it's tough because I see a bunch of our families and friends moving away. Like even my dad, I mean, they moved
Yeah,
away
yeah.
to Vegas. I mean, I think because it was, the opportunity there to, like, they bought a property super cheap, right?
Yeah, and then he made some money.
Yeah, I mean, it like almost tripled
Yeah,
from
like
what
Hawaii prices.
yeah,
He
what
bought it for like, I want to say,
almost 300K, I think, and two-story house, Summerlin, right?
Yeah, I've been there.
Beautiful place. And now it's probably in the sixes and eights, right? Close to close to those prices.
yeah, when you first moved, I'm like, why?
That's
And now
a
I'm like,
full
whoa.
waterman now.
Yeah.
My pops is a full waterman.
His dad, he does the Eddie, Water Patrol. He's a stuntman on all these movies, water, and everything water, everything ocean. And for him to move to Vegas.
Yeah, we were kind of like scratching our head. I know he's trying to get back home. He's trying to get back home, but I guess they just got to make sure that when they do move back, they're ready. I think he's got property on the Big Island.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we'll see.
My whole thing, if you want to move for whatever reason, that's your own thing. But to make it here in Hawaii, you got to be a go-getter. You can't just sit back and expect it to come to you. You can't expect, my uncle can get me a job here, or oh, my friend owns this, he can get me a job. You just got to go out and you got to get it, and you got to do it yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you got to work at it, and and you may have to get 2 jobs or 3 jobs,
Right.
and a lot of sacrifices. You
Yeah.
know, in today's world, it's a lot harder to do, especially if you don't have the resource, if you don't have the family help backing you up. But yeah, it's just a lot of sacrifices, saving
Yeah.
your money.
Save money, but not only that, I think investing in your
Yeah.
financial education too, right? Learning how to, like, you created your own business, right? You're your own boss. I mean, working for someone else only gonna get you so far, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's good to have a career if you love what you do and
Yeah.
work for someone else. But as far as an entrepreneur or a business owner, like,
Yeah, I'll tell you one of the businesses I started was during the pandemic, and I was afraid it was gonna get shut down, and I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? So I started a disinfecting company.
I remember that you was disinfecting like the
Planes,
all the
yeah.
planes, right?
Yeah, so for the first 2 months, I put a lot of money into it, and I hired salespeople and everything, and the numbers are low. I think the numbers like 10 people were getting affected, 20 people, and Once it hit double digits, it blew up.
Right.
Uh, I had restaurants, houses, a lot of houses, and the biggest account that I landed, and it just ended. So I did it for 3.5 years. I did their planes, and I did their warehouse, and literally I was busy. I would go to the warehouse at like 10 o'clock at night, disinfect their warehouse. I would do the planes early in the morning, and yeah, it was unbelievable. So I got to thank Amazon. Thank you,
Amazon
Jeff.
for the product, right?
Yeah.
Or the equipment that you got.
Thanks everybody for buying Amazon, because it kept me in business, for 3.5 years, and it just ended like maybe a couple months ago, beginning of the year.
So you think like the tinting business, like mobile tinting, like someone,
Tinting, tinting. I've been tinting for 30 years, so I can tint a car. The first car I tinted, I think it was my sister's car, and that was me having guys already working for me, but I wanted to do this tint myself. It took me 8 hours. 8 hours. I think that same car today, I could do it in 45 minutes. And during the pandemic, because I stockpiled a lot of film, I was a dealer, and I would sell film, and I constantly sold film to this one couple who I tinted their car, and so they would come in every week, buy tint for me, and then they would buy a roll of tints, and I want to say this company is pretty big.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, after 4 years, they do a lot of cars. So I don't know how good their work is, but they found a niche. They was addicted to window tinting,
Right.
and they do a lot of window tints.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, hey, my viewers out there, we want to mahalo you for watching. If you like this show, please subscribe, like, and share. And thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Kanai Sharsh. Yes, sir.
See you in the water.
I want to take this time to mahalo all of you, my local community, for watching Fuzzy Jardine, and right now on my new Puka Pocket show. I appreciate all of you, and just know that it's coming from my heart to you guys to share my journey and make sure that you guys know that you can do it too. Aloha.